Happy Thursday, my darling pop culture junkies. We are back after a brief little break because there was just too much pop culture to talk about, and I wanted to get back into it. It's Pop Culture Mondays on Thursdays, and it's me, Brooke.
Pop Culture on Thursdays.
So I hope you guys had a great break. We did not have a podcast last week, I guess, because obviously it would have come out on Thursday. And, I don't know about you, but I'm not listening to podcasts on Thursday, though I listened to a lot of audiobooks while I was cooking on Thursday, which was a really nice escape. Like, I don't get to do that often. But I hope everyone had an amazing holiday. I am just digging out. I wrote the newsletter. Today is Monday in the time machine. And I wrote the newsletter with like very cognizant in my mind of how busy we all are today because we've all let those emails pile up this long weekend or whatever. And even now that this is coming out on Thursday, I feel like you might just feel like you're catching up or caught up, but it takes me a significant amount of time post holiday, whether it's Thanksgiving or Christmas, to really feel caught up. Like Thursday, that's when I'm feeling good. So hopefully you're listening to this and it's like candy and fun and your blood pressure has gone down a little bit and your heart rate has gone down a little bit. And now we can just talk about crazy shit like Mormons and fruity pebbles because I have a lot to say. By the time this is published, I will be in Argentina, which is so crazy to me. I have to say, this year, 2025, has been like, I'm a traveler. Don't get me wrong. Like I love to explore and see the world, but this year I will have been to 3 countries that I've never been to. So I went to Qatar, I did Japan, and now I'm going to Argentina for a friend's birthday. So it's really quite monumental for me. That's a lot of travel and adventures. And Argentina is not easy to get to from Los Angeles. I'm just going to say it doesn't make sense to me. I'm south and I'm on the West Coast and I understand geographically where South America is, but like why can't I just go like that way? I don't understand. Instead, every major airline, you have to fly from the East Coast. That's either basically New York, Atlanta, or Miami. So I have to fly to New York tomorrow and there's snow coming. So everybody wish me luck. Like I may be doing my next podcast somewhere else in the world, but I have to fly to New York to then go back down south. It makes no sense. I don't understand. So if an airline is listening, can you please launch like even if it's like every other day to Argentina from Los Angeles? I mean, clearly there's like a market for it because I just would imagine there's a lot of people going to South America right now, not Venezuela. Oh, God, if this was a political podcast, guys, I could go on and on. Last week, because we didn't have a podcast, I'm just going to go through a couple of things that happened. And you should definitely reference the newsletter. I'll put last week's newsletter and this week's newsletter in the show notes. Check out those show notes. There's lots of information. But I made a really, this is so funny. I mean, honestly, I'm talking about menopause last week because menopause has become a pop culture sort of zeitgeisty thing. And as a woman of a certain age, it's extraordinary to be able to have this moment in time be there. Like I think about my mom and our moms and grandmothers and other women in our lives who never had that opportunity. Like it was something you never said. It was like cancer. That's right. You menopause. Like you whispered it. If you said it at all. Like there was no forum for it. I mean, so much so that there was misinformation about, hormone replacement therapy causing cancer. And so a whole generation, multiple generations of women suffered. And there's a lot of suffering when those hormonal changes happen. Now it's groovy. Like it's groovy to talk about. And there's like a whole subculture around it. There's information, there's humor, there's the We Don't Care Club. And even though we did this last week in the newsletter, just take a look at this little We Don't Care Club founder.
So I started this club called a We Do Not Care Club, and this is for anybody going through perimenopause and menopause. I posted a video asking who wanted to join, and when I tell you we got so many members in this club, but what I did was compile a list of all the stuff that we don't care about no more, okay? We don't care about bras no more because bras suffocate us. We don't need that no more. We don't care if we look pregnant and we're really not pregnant. We don't care about matching clothes and wearing PJs all day. Clothes is clothes. That's it. That's the standard.
I mean, we have an outlet, and I think that's healthy for everyone, not just women, but for the men and women who love women in that perimenopause, menopause moment in time, because there's a lot more understanding, there's a lot more empathy, there's a lot more opportunities for, access to lots of treatments and regimens and alternative medicines. And I don't know, it's so awesome. I do think that women, we like hormone changes can make anybody crazy. We see that. We see it in boys as they go through puberty, in girls going through puberty. And so when you see these stories about women who just like lose their shit, and I'm not talking about the women who have, the psychosis after having children, which is very real. Also, hormonal changes. But you hear about women who like just lose their mind in their 50s and 60s and become like serial killers. I'm like, if they only had the We Don't Care Club, maybe this would have been their solution. Maybe they needed hormone replacement therapy. But anyway, menopause is cool again. Another thing we covered last week is that I don't know if you're aware, but Parmigiano Reggiano, the cheese, and if I could have named myself, my middle name would have been cheese. It's my favorite food group of all things. There is no cheese I will not eat. I've even had that maggot cheese. Have you heard of it? There's like a whole documentary, or it wasn't Anthony Bourdain, but maybe it was something like that, where it's focused on this maggot cheese. It's only in a specific area in France. And I've had it. Like the maggots go in, they put it in there and they eat it and then regurgitate it. And when you eat it, there's still maggots on it. I'm not joking. Ate it. And it really freaked me out, but it also, I have to acknowledge, was delicious. I can't talk about it anymore. But Parmigiano Reggiano got signed by UTA, United Talent Agency, a very big talent agency headquartered here in the heart of Los Angeles. And it was so funny. It was like the memes that went around, like...
My biggest problem is that I'm getting typecast. It's Cacio Pepe, Cacio Pepe, Cacio Pepe. No. Fuck Aged Cheddar. Aged Cheddar had his time in the sun. They said I was too old for the part. What do they want? They want me aged. They want me unaged. Come on, like, make it. I'm super hung right now. Me, Channing, and Leo went out last night. We went to Bestia. I totally get that you're working hard, but on our first meeting, I said, I want to be in the Avengers. Hosting SNL? That sounds awesome. Wait, who's the musical guest? Benson Boone? Oh, they're not going to make me do like a backflip skit with him, are they?
I don't know. Like, it really... it brings me joy, but it's the consortium of like the Parmigiano Reggiano makers that were basically feeling like, hey, why is brie getting all this attention? Like anytime you're watching a movie, people are eating brie, or maybe they're eating, I don't know. They're just whatever cheese they're eating. They're not eating Parmigiano Reggiano. And so the idea is that UTA is now representing the brand or the consortium, that we're going to start seeing like wheels of Parmesan in movies and TV shows. I imagine that's sort of the idea. I mean, God bless. The industry needs some help. I hope they're getting paid a lot of money. I, for one, am all for all cheeses having fair talent representation. Like if I could be a manager of cheeses, like who are your clients? Parmigiano Reggiano, Roquefort, not North American Roquefort, but French, like actually from France. But I won't touch blue cheese from Northern California. Wisconsin cheddar, but aged. Who else do I represent? Oh, feta, but the block of feta, not crumbled feta. That's a cheat. So I'm really looking to expand my portfolio. I won't represent mozzarella. I won't represent vegan cheeses. Like, this is my dream. Like, I was born for that role. FYI. So that was fun. And then we also talked about Ralph Lauren Christmas, which was a huge trend and now is becoming a backlash trend. But basically, Ralph Lauren Christmas is just Christmas. I mean, it's the idea of traditional Christmas, like lots of plaid and dark reds and greens and bows and like the Home Alone Christmas. That's the only thing I can like explain it if you like need to visually see it. But if you're watching the podcast, there's a picture of it. And it was a trend that started really in October. And I waited because as these things go up, they also come down. And so I knew that the backlash would come where people would be like craving and going crazy for Ralph Lauren Christmas. And then the backlash would begin where people would be like, this is elitist and you're rich and I'm poor. And why don't we look at other Christmases like Cowboy Christmas? I mean, we can't have nice things. It's true. But you can have a Ralph Lauren Christmas without spending Ralph Lauren prices. I'm just being real honest. You can totally find all of this stuff on Amazon. If you don't want to shop on Amazon, which I understand, God, somebody break me of my addiction. I am just giving that motherfucker so much money. I'm giving him so much money. Because I just Amazon things. But you can go to Target, you can go to Walmart, you can go to Etsy. Like there's so many things, but I'm a big believer of bows. I love it. My Christmas tree is covered in bows. That was my mom's sort of, mwah. I have like 200 bows on my Christmas tree. So it's always been a Ralph Lauren Christmas for me. But this week, we did a very short and sweet newsletter, and I decided because I spent over the break a lot of time with the Mormons and not in real life, not IRL. I know Mormons, or I have known Mormons. I don't think any of them are still Mormons. And I'm going to say, I think the Mormon church is having like, either they're panicking or they are extracting a lot of money from the people I'm about to talk about. But Mormons have always been a fascination. I think it's like a little bit of a cult, a little bit of a sort of like, I mean, it's a fascination in pop culture. It's not like it's just today and we're going to talk about Mormons in reality TV, but we have Book of Mormon. I mean, hello, I am Brother Cunningham or whatever. I mean, come on. I've seen Book of Mormon five times, I think, in different capacities, but the original cast, at least once or twice. It's amazing. We had Big Love. I mean, remember that? Big Love walked so these reality stars could run. We understood the idea of multiple marriages because we liked the characters. We were rooting for them, even if we were sort of like floored by it all. We tuned in every week to watch that family sort of unfold and navigate all the different wives and personalities and kids. And I mean, it was a remarkable show. And then we had, I can't even remember this show, but that dude with the curly hair we all hate, who was married to like, he was a polygamist and they did their thing on TV, and Sister Wives. Like, what? So we are very adept to the understanding of Mormonism. So I think a lot of us are familiar with the rules of Mormonism, and like polygamy has been theoretically outlawed by the church, but like obviously there are people that believe in it. And I'm sorry, what man is like, if given the choice to have like multiple wives that they can have sex with? Like, what man is going to say like, oh no, that's not for me. Like I can have multiple wives and not like cheat. I think the guys who have multiple wives are still probably cheating because whatever. That's another podcast. I should do that podcast with Alyssa Mastromonaco, with her podcast of those guys. So we should talk about men who would just marry all the women and still cheat. Anyway, I digress. So we had that show, and now reality is set in, and it's hotter than ever, and not just on TV. I mean, really, a lot of this stems from TikTok because of mom talk and trad wives. Both are really threaded to Mormons. All of the mom talk women are Mormons. They are young, beautiful girls that all look alike. and they all have the sort of same vibe, same style. They literally all look alike. They're interchangeable to me. I can't decipher. Then they all have names. They're all like Whitney and Jenny, and they're just like, it's hilarious. And so the mom talk girls, women, moms, became so popular and so well known on TikTok that they ended up getting their own reality show called The Secret Lives of Mormon Wives. And it was immediately a hit. And it was immediately a hit for a couple of reasons. One, you had all these girls that people already knew from TikTok. They all look the same. They're all hot. They all are dancing together in like their white wife beaters in their massive Salt Lake homes.
Shake it like a pit bull. Back then they did want me, now I get my dick pulled.
But right as like the show was getting ready, I don't know if it was in the middle of filming, there was a scandal, and it was Swingergate. And basically one of the cast members, it became exposed that some of the cast members and the sort of leader of Mom Talk and her husband were soft swinging. Soft swinging. So either you're swinging or you're not. No, apparently, I had to learn this. Soft swinging is when you play around with your friends' partners. You know, you trade. You and your partner switch with your other friends. So now you're hooking up with your friend's husband, and all of that is okay as long as there's no penetration. So everything else I understand is accepted. So oral is okay, just no penetration. I can't believe we're here. I can't believe I'm talking about this. So we, I think, are well versed enough to know the rules of Mormonism as a church. I mean, they're stricter than Catholics. Like Catholics are like, don't have sex, but if you have sex, don't use a condom because babies are good. Like, it's so confusing. Mormons are like, absolutely not to premarital sex. You have to wear like certain kind of undergarments. You are absolutely not to drink, whereas like Catholics are like, have fun, drink away. You are absolutely no alcohol, no caffeine, no caffeine. And I believe sugar is like out there as well. Those are pretty like strict rules. And I don't think this is a new development, but my friend that I was friends with as a young child who was from the South and was Mormon, had 10 brothers and sisters. They lived in South Carolina, and she had a dad who had another family also in Hawaii. It was the first time when I visited, that's the first place I smoked a cigarette. That's the first time I ever had a Jolt Cola, which is twice the sugar, twice the caffeine of a regular soda. And that was the first time I tasted, I think, alcohol outside of what my parents let me drink, like at their table. Because when you tell children under no like certain terms you can do something, of course they're going to do it. And so you say you can't have sugar, you can't have caffeine, you can't have sex, you can't smoke cigarettes, you can't do any of that. Like that's the first thing we all want to do. So, and they do it big time. Like if my mom didn't let me have soda once in a while, I would definitely be like freaking freebasing Jolt. But I wasn't Mormon. So what we're finding out is they're all Mormons, these reality show stars, these mom talkers, but they are clearly mixing and matching the rules. So some of them will be like, oh my God, I will never touch alcohol. Yuck. But I will definitely go down on my best friend's husband. You tell me. I don't make the rules. I don't understand. And then I don't know if they're like excommunicated because they've now been publicized about it. Their families, like some of them have moved in with boyfriends that they're not married to. They're getting divorced. All of that is bad. Like apparently if you get divorced in the Mormon church, you're like excommunicated, but then some aren't. I don't like somebody come and tell me the rules. I don't understand. So Mom Talk got rocked by Swingergate. The show became a huge hit, and it's so successful that not one but two cast members were on Dancing with the Stars this season, which was a huge season. And the breakout star Whitney, and there are two Whitneys, one on the Secret Lives of Mormon Wives and one like a little bit older generation on Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. Get it straight. But the Whitney on Secret Lives of Mormon Wives, has the breakout star, went really far on Dancing with the Stars, and was just announced this week that she's the new Roxy in Chicago, in New York, on Broadway. So she's really maximized what a reality show is meant to do for you. If you decide to go on a reality show, you have to have a strategy. You have to have a strategy. If you do it just to be famous, then like, okay, for a second, that might be feeding you for a minute, but not long term. If you do it to launch like a brand, you have to be an incredibly savvy entrepreneur and have a brand that's really going to connect with people. And it, you know, like Bethany Frankel was able to do it because of, oh, I can drink and get skinny. Great. That was, but if you just launch like, oh, I'm famous now, I have a show, so I'm going to launch a tequila with no like purpose or anything, no vision, just my own tequila brand, like another Real Housewife, Lisa Barlow on Salt Lake, has, called Vita Tequila. I've never seen it in my life. You're going to struggle there as well. And same with Whitney Rose on Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, who launched a beauty brand and it was popular and then it wasn't. It's very hard. But if you're able to segue it into your own personal brand, you yourself, you are the brand. Like Whitney in Secret Lives of Mormon Wives, Dancing with the Stars, and now Chicago. And like Heather Gay, who is the star of Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, OG, she's now everywhere. She has her own special on Netflix about surviving Mormonism. She was excommunicated due to a divorce. That is really, really smart. They're the smart ones. Everybody else is sort of like trying to figure it out. Some get it, some don't. And if they just want to be famous, then they get famous. And Bravo celebrities are a big deal. No question. Secret Lives of Mormon Wives are not Bravo. They are Hulu. It is a really big show. And they just were getting through the Swingergate when we now have, I don't know, you pick your hashtag, Fruity Pebbles Gate or Pissgate. And it's unfortunate because Fruity Pebbles were my literal favorite cereal. Like that is my parents did not approve of sugary cereals. So I would go over to friends' houses and it's like Captain Crunch, great, but really cut up my upper mouth, right? And so that was no good. Fruity Pebbles. And then it made the milk delicious and fruity. Hold on to that because that is a factor. So basically, long story short, in this season, or it's not even on the show, I guess it was like an Instagram live. These two girls are beefing and they're like best friends, but they're like talking bad about each other on the show. And then they go on to socials and one girl basically discloses, I think it was on an Instagram live or whatnot, that this other girl that she's beefing with had told her in confidence, but she was going to reveal it like 2 years ago, that this girl and her husband had performed a sex act using Fruity Pebbles, and we knew that there was a Fruity Pebbles element because back in like the first season, that girl was gifted a box of Fruity Pebbles and all the girls laughed, hee hee hee, like they knew, but we, the audience, didn't know. And we sort of just were like, I'm sure the Redditors were like, what the fuck is going on with the Fruity Pebbles? But like me, I saw it was like in my brain and then out of my brain. Now we understand the Fruity Pebbles. So this girl's like telling her friend, oh my God, I have to tell you something. What? This is my what I envisioned happen. Okay, so my husband and I, we got really crazy. We had heard that like if you eat a lot of Fruity Pebbles, you make things taste like Fruity Pebbles. What, like semen? I guess, but also, you know, no, I don't know. Like your pee tastes like smells fruity. Uh-huh. So basically, what we're learning is that this girl disclosed to her now frenemy that she and her husband did this sex act where they, I guess, I don't know which is which, whether she ate a lot of Fruity Pebbles and peed in her husband's mouth or vice versa. You're welcome. And then what happened was this comes out in a scandal. And then the girl, because she doesn't work with comms people like me and my team, she confirms it. She's like, what happened between my husband and I was a mutual, like, agreed upon sex act that was meant to be in the privacy of our own home. Like, confirmed it. So just take a look at a few of these TikToks.
I don't know about you guys, but I'm loving this Demi crash out era right now. Her saying something like this is laughable because genuinely would never be jealous of someone saying these things that Lisa's saying about her. She got caught on camera. She knows it and she's trying to backtrack. So since she wants to be petty and be an asshole, I think I'm just going to go ahead and say that Grandpa Brett likes to drink her piss like it's dirty soda and he gulps it down like water.
What my husband and I did one time behind closed doors was a consensual and private experience in our marriage. I won't let a private act between my husband and I be a distraction from a serious act that I did not consent to. I shared this information with Jessie in confidence nearly 2 years ago. It's very telling that she's choosing to break storyline and bring it up now, only after her own affair has come to light. This is nothing more than a desperate attempt to shift attention away from her own behavior.
I mean, the drama. These girls, like, wait till we get to Real Housewives. Like, they have the feds coming after them. So we've gone from eating fruity Pebbles to make your pee taste fruity to the feds. You got to go from here to there. It's like, it makes sense now. The Mormons are crazy. And then I did appreciate the fact that some of the stars of Secret Lives of Mormon Wives made light of the fact that there was a lot of drama happening during Thanksgiving week. And some of them were delighted that it wasn't them this time, and others that it was them were like, what are you talking about? So look at these TikToks.
Really get into it. Really get into it. Why is everyone acting weird towards me?
No, we're not. You're chill. Come on.
No, seriously. Why is everyone acting weird towards me?
No, we're not. You're chill. Come on.
No, seriously.
Okay, so now if your teenager or your college kid comes home and is like eating and asking for Fruity Pebbles, you might want to have a conversation with them. Like, if they weren't Fruity Pebbles people before and your kid comes home and is like, I need lots of Fruity Pebbles, I think you need to ask them why. Why the Fruity Pebbles? Why is this happening now? What is going on? And then Real Housewives of Salt Lake, crazy. And I am, swear to God, the smartest women I know. Smartest, like heads of industry, titans of industry, CEOs, billionaires. They are obsessed with this. And I wasn't watching it. And so I was like, what do they have that I don't? Like, I need to catch on. So I spent a lot of time over the last 5 days watching Real Housewives of Salt Lake. I'm not caught up, but it is just as crazy, if not crazier. You had in season 2, Jen Shah, who is perfect television, literally on camera. They get raided by the feds, and it was the feds, Homeland Security, and the NYPD that descended on Salt Lake City or Park City. I don't know which city we were in at that particular moment, looking for Jen Shah. She then gets arrested. There's ring footage of them raiding her home, her Black teenage sons at gunpoint, which is terrifying and never okay. And I am watching it and I'm like, well, she was great television. I wish, like, I would have loved to keep Jen Shah going. She stayed. I don't know what lawyer she had, but they were like, keep doing the show, girly, and you go on the reunion too. Do the reunion, which is nuts to me. And I don't know if that played a part into her actually getting convicted and she's in prison, which she's meant to get out early release in the coming week or two. So that's exciting, Jen Shah. I am sure she will not come back to Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, but I guarantee you they are chomping at the bit. Bravo, Hulu, they are going to sign Jen Shah to like life after prison. I'm 100%. I don't know if she'll come back to the franchise, though. God bless. That would be pretty magnificent. Just take a look at some of the drama. Now, some of these women are Mormon. Some of them are not. They are Mormon adjacent, or they were Mormon and have either left the church out of their own belief system or were excommunicated. Some are, like, Jen Shah is Muslim. There's a woman that was in the first 2 seasons and is returned who is like a, I don't know, Pentecostal woman. She has her own church. So it's vast and varied, but they drink, they party, They scream at each other. They call each other all sorts of names. These are women that are my age. And am I supposed to, this is how like Britt and Kara and I are supposed to interact with each other. Like, you stupid whore. It's crazy, but I'm obsessed.
No. It was true. No. We don't have to hold back on this. We don't have to hope it's not true. It's not true. That's all I need. True.
If someone told me my husband was making out with someone and farting, I don't know which one I'd be more devastated about. I mean, it's both of it's just embarrassing. And then what's wrong with his intestines? Why is he farting? Oh my God. Something's wrong.
Okay, there's police and they have handcuffs out.
Homeland Security.
We're looking for Jen Shaw.
She just left.
Can you just say if my husband were what?
You're
Your hair
dying.
is so long.
Hi. Wait, there's police. We're good.
Hi.
Look at the police here.
What did you do, Heather?
I don't know what the popo are here.
Why are the police here?
NYPD.
I mean, the drama. And then you also have, like, let's not forget the Nara Smiths and the trad wives, you know, the whole, like, I make my M&Ms from scratch. I go in and I milk the cows. And I am 22 and I have 34 children. Like, they are Mormon. So it is quite the thing. And that is all I'm going to say on that. There is a lot going on. I know I've been talking forever, but there's a lot more going on. And it was a short newsletter because while there's a lot going on, I didn't want to get into all of it. I think the thing I really want to touch on, because the other thing I want to do is play like this TikTok trend, but it's all music. It's a mashup between Billy Joel, Piano Man, and Silver Spring from Fleetwood Mac. And I love the trend, and I'm going to put a video in the show notes, but I know that they will put a zapper on me because the music we'd have to play a certain length, and then I won't be able to get the podcast out because everybody in the music labels will come crashing down on me because, you know, I didn't get the rights to it. I understand. Got to make money. But there is this woman who went viral, this whole family that went viral over the weekend. She is marrying into this family. Her fiance's family had convinced her however long ago that they were a turkey trot family, meaning that they wake up and before they do anything else, they all put turkeys on their heads. They have t-shirts and they're going to go run. I think it was like a 10K. Now, if I was marrying into that family and they told me that, I would, for every day from that moment until the day of the race, I would have anxiety. I would literally freak out. I would start training. I would have a meltdown because, like, I'm not a 10K kind of girl. And this girl is beautiful and fit or whatnot, but she's clearly been stressing out. So she's standing there. It's the whole family, the in-laws. There's uncles and cousins and kids and the fiance and the parents and everybody, and they're all wearing a t-shirt and they're like, smile. And then all of a sudden they go, it's a prank. There's no turkey trot. Ha. This woman has been preparing, like, let's just imagine, months to impress the fiance and the family on her turkey trot skills. And she's just stunned. So just take a look.
We're kidding. Just tease it with me. There's no race.
She broke down in tears under the mockery of the entire family. And all of this was packaged as a so-called family tradition prank. This Thanksgiving, her fiancé and his family brought her outside, telling her that every year they run an intense 10-kilometer turkey run. They said it with complete seriousness, even preparing matching t-shirts. To welcome her into the family, they even made her a special outfit and had her put it on and stand in front of everyone. Running 10 kilometers isn't something you can just do out of nowhere. You need training, which means she had likely been preparing for weeks. You can see her Hoka running shoes. She really had been training for this race. And in the end, it was all just a prank. Everyone was laughing at her. She was clearly emotionally shaken, too embarrassed to even speak, and eventually she broke down in tears. In their caption, they wrote, "It's not a Butler Thanksgiving without a prank." I promise she was thrilled not to run. But the video itself doesn't look fun at all. It feels more like public humiliation. What do you think about this?
And the internet does not like it. They don't like it. They hate the fiance. They took the video down. They had originally posted the video and then did not expect the backlash to happen. The internet's like, red flags. This is mean. This is cruel. This is abusive. Who knows how she's really feeling, but maybe she's probably like a little overwhelmed by the reaction. But just take a listen or look at some of the TikToks of people commenting on this moment in time over the holiday weekend. And turkey trots should I hate them. That's my 2 cents. But take a look.
I find all pranks deeply unfunny. And I also find them to be mean in nature. And I find people who are like pranksters to have like a mean spiritedness to them. So when it comes to the turkey trot thing, I do find it mean. I just can't wrap my head around the fact that this family, like a family unit, like sat or they went on a group chat and they were like, ooh, you know what would be fucking hilarious is if we pranked this poor girl who's like coming into our family. Like, I found it so deeply unfunny and awkward. I just can't. How did they think it was going to go in their mind? Like, how did they play that out? Like, it's just so unfunny. Like, it gave me the ick. I don't like pranks in general. I never have. Like, I don't like April Fool's Day. I don't like any of that stuff because, again, I think it's mean and I don't think it's funny at all.
I mean, abusive. Speaking of abusive, we have something that I didn't talk about in the newsletter, but there is a docu-series on P. Diddy, and I saw it being advertised. I wasn't paying that much attention. I was like, I don't really want to, like, what else could it be? Just cobbled together footage that we've all seen? No. He let cameras roll for whatever reason, similar to Jen Shah, like leading up to his arrest, where he knew he was under investigation. They'd already raided the homes. I'm not quite sure of how 50 Cent became involved with this docuseries, and he is the producer because 50 Cent and P. Diddy hate each other. And 50 Cent actually gave an interview on GMA with the director of the film where he's like, this isn't about beef. This was like, I didn't have beef with him. Like, I was always uncomfortable with the fact that I thought he was trying to get me on his side to do the things that he did. He was trying to test me out to see if I played that way. And I most definitely didn't play that way. And I've been, he's basically saying that he has been preaching this for a very long time about the kind of person Diddy had become. And so his involvement, when asked if this is taking away from the real victims, his involvement, he's like, everybody like has a story to tell, whether they were a victim or not. But the stuff is crazy. Just take a little gander. Let me just set it up. Diddy had been in the streets of like Queens, Brooklyn, whatever, meeting with the people, like acting like this is, PR for him leading up to the ultimate arrest, where he's like hugging people and showing that he's just a man of the people. And then he gets back in the car, and while cameras are rolling, he's like, yuck, give me hand sanitizer. I need a bath.
Video also shows Combs in Harlem greeting fans.
Off my back, bro. Lord, you win. I'm gonna win. Lord, you win. We win it.
I'll accept it. I need some hand sanitizer. Hold on. I got it. I've been out in the streets amongst the people. Yeah, I gotta take a bath.
So this is one, like, I'm going to stop recording and I'm going to watch that because it is wild that he just let the cameras go. It is a clear sign of the lack of reality that he was living in.
Because Diddy is so hated by 50 Cent that apparently a decade ago, 50 Cent just started gathering information on Diddy. As much as he could find. And he started working on a documentary series on how bad Diddy is. A documentary. He did interviews. He hates this man so much. I've heard of gossip. I've never heard of we're gonna have the whole crew there by 3, all right? And we'll have a place for you to sit, we'll have some snacks and everything. We'll just chop it up, we'll just chat. Tell me everything that he did, that bastard, right? A documentary series that he's already potentially sold to Netflix. He hates this. I've never hated. I not only do my best not be a hateful person, I really try to let things go and not hate anybody. So I don't even know what it's like to hate someone. So I've never hated someone. So imagine hating someone so much you're willing to edit. You're willing to sit at the computer and be like, no, that's not. Let's see if we can make this B-roll work. This dude hates him so much that there's actually things on the cutting room floor that didn't make it in. Imagine you hate somebody so much you don't even have time for how much you hate them in the thing you made about hating them.
There you go on that. And the last thing on abuse and the last thing on the podcast that I'm going to talk about is Olivia Nuzzi. For those of you not familiar, she was the generational political reporter for New York Magazine. She really was just an incredible, unbelievable reporter. She got scoops. She got people to tell her things, whether it was Trump to Giuliani to RFK. She's also beautiful, but incredibly talented. And of course, she used her wiles as a way to get men to open up. Why wouldn't you? If you have it, use it. I mean, men are dumb, especially politicians. Dumb, 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 dumb. She made a life-changing error, and she got involved in an emotional relationship, in a text relationship that was sexual with RFK Jr., never a real one. She was engaged to a political reporter, much older, a terrible man. I'll be honest. you can sue me. I don't give a rat's ass, but my experience with him personally, the very brief interactions I've had with him were gross. He's gross. He's a bully. He's gross. She made a mistake, a very big mistake. By the way, I urge all of us to think about any big mistakes. Now, maybe like you don't do a mistake where it ends your career. I understand that. But I have made some, like when I write my memoirs from my old age home, and it's considered adorable, but if I wrote it now, you would all be like, what? It would be stunning. So it was a fall from grace, and she has a book that's out this week called American Canto, and it is not a tell-all. It is really it is an account of the sort of what unfolded, but also the political world and the sort of unfolding with Trump and her experience with it. And she was dealing with the scandal last year, and she moved to LA and the fires. So it's all of this analogies around the fires and the burning and her life burning and the everything. It's really interesting. But what I find really horrifying is the collective hate and bullying and vitriol being thrown at her by friends of mine, by colleagues of mine, by the industry, all of it being directed at her. And the bully is her ex-fiancé, who's the one that really got this all out to begin with and leaked it initially, we all imagine, and had been tracking her, and then launched his own newsletter, and to sell subscriptions is dropping bombs. And nobody's questioning the validity of this. She's certainly not speaking about it, and he's just making these like announcements that everybody's taking as gospel. And we've seen this before. There's a woman that I love and am also friends with. Both these women are my friends, but we all remember what happened with Monica Lewinsky, and we all lived it, and we were all guilty of it. And it was 30 years later that we've come to a place as a society to be like, this was horrible. Everyone, even the newscasters, they regret, wow, why did we not turn the tables on the president and hold him like this was a 21-year-old girl? We've learned. And now, and I'm not saying Olivia is not responsible, but my God, if you look at it, if you were to do a forensic analysis of all the social posts, 99% of it is directed at her and calling her every name in the book, and not directed at the man, not directed at the boyfriend who is literally like, dropping these assaults on her and bullying her, and I could go on and on. I don't understand. And so I think as a society, we need to be better. And I have to tell you, I put it in the newsletter, and I've gotten so many emails. Like, I've just gotten at least, I think, about 15. One of them, thank you for standing up for Nutsi. Another one, what you said about Olivia is spot on. Another one, this was great. Thank you for writing about Olivia. Somebody wrote, I don't know her, but followed all of her reporting over the years and think your take is spot on. Yes, she erred. She's young. She's talented. She's got a long career ahead of her. Her exes are both douches and should not get passes on this. Why is she the only bad guy here? Ridiculous. So I want to end on that note. Just let's not be another 30 years when we look back and be like, what did we do to this woman? Yeah. Let's hold all of those accountable. And that's what I have to say to that. Thank you, Live Nation, for making this podcast possible. Thank you, Ethan, my amazing producer. Thank you, Potato, my dog. This is his last week as an only child. And next week I will be a 2-dog household. Anyway, thanks, guys. Have a great week and see you next week.